Just firstly, why
the hell?
Why did you choose this as your first film?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess the way I write, I come up with an idea and something that I want to say first, and then all the other ideas kind of tumble in after that. So I was really passionate to explore what it's like for someone, because I'm a person in life, I try to face things. You know, if something difficult happens, I try and face it and integrate it. But I know that there are people out there who don't do that, and I'm really fascinated by the idea of people who can suppress and hold on things for many, many years. So that was kind of my entry point, I guess. And then you know, it became pretty obvious to me very early that it was going to be a scary film, because to face difficult things for people is really terrifying. And I wanted to put people right in the centre of that.
Just such a psychologically based horror film. Was there a type of movie that you guys did not want to make?
Yes. I mean, I wanted to keep... I really loved the kind of 70s horror and the 20s horror, I guess. You know, John Carpenter's early films like Halloween and The Thing, they're very sparse films, and they're all about performance actually, and they're very mythical in their quality. And also going back earlier to films like Carl Dreyer's Vampire and, you know, Nosferatu, and all these films are very simple actually, and there's a beautiful kind of artistry to that. So we didn't want to make a film that was complicated and crowded. And a lot of these American studio horror films, they're just like cookie cutter kind of films that are, you know, they don't really give their audience credit for being smart. And so I didn't want to make a film like that. I didn't want to make a film that manipulated people in a bad way, that used shock scares just to kind of get a reaction, because you always feel ripped off when that happens.
Also, I think, you know, like Rosemary's Baby, Jen really wanted to make a film where everything was seen through Amelia's eyes. And so Amelia had to be in this incredible, truthful place. Not that the other characters are not, and Samuel as well. But there's this heightened element of how she feels she's being seen by these other extraordinary characters. And that's what I also think is quite beautiful about this film. It has some very funny moments and very peculiar characters, and you know, sometimes we were just going, there's the beautiful council workers, not council workers, docks workers who come to visit, and Jen would go, can you just smile, but really not smile in your eyes? And that all those outside characters, I wanted them to be a part of Amelia's point of view. Yeah, I think that genre is not a dirty word either. It's just a label. It's just, you know, drama is a genre. Comedy is a genre. Every film is a genre. It's just a French word that means kind, a kind of something, you know. So let's not look down our noses at it. You know, we'll kill our own industry.
I had to invent a term for what you've done visually. It feels like suburban gothic.
That's great.
It takes a while to realise that it's actually set present day.
Yes.
Because the house is stripped of colour, of feeling, of mood. Yeah. It literally is like a life has been sucked out of that house.
What mood?
Yeah. as with the character.
That delights me to hear that, because all of that was so, you know, carefully talked about, and with my brilliant production designer Alex Holmes, you know, we didn't want it to strip the film in post. We wanted to do it live. So in camera, I'd say, no, that cupboard's too brown, it's too warm, you know, and he'd go and grey stain it, you know. And so everything was black through to white or burgundy or blue. And so you feel really cold watching the film. And yes, I wanted a world that hinted at 30s and 40s, but that was now transparent.
I have one more question for you, Essie, but please, Jennifer, jump in. have a very strong female lead in this movie. It's very rare in film. TV seems to service women and the strengths of women much better than mainstream film.
Recently, yeah.
Why is TV better for female leads than mainstream film?
I think maybe because people have just started writing leads for females on television. A lot of women have there are a lot more female directors in television than there are in film, and producers and writers who are going, and actresses who are going, oh, I'm going to produce my own piece of work, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's, look, I am so lucky that Jen wrote this movie and that I got to play this part. And I have been searching. I have played amazing parts in theatre. And I have been searching for films that will give me the chance to go on that fantastic a journey, because no matter what, it is a pleasure to travel down those crazy paths that these characters go down.
And I have to say, as a director, I'm really committed to writing them, writer-director, because they don't exist and they need to exist. It's not about dominating, the field with women. It's just about balance. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, my first little breaks into the film industry in Australia were Girlfriend,
Yeah.
You got the lead role in that film. You got 5 days work.
Yes, you should be grateful.
And, and you're literally the girlfriend, or and in fact, it almost it makes your audience bored of you because they think that's all there is. So it's just more interesting if, God, I wish that every woman, girl who wants to be an actress would have the opportunity. It's incredibly rare and coveted, so start writing.
Start writing more female characters.
Essie, you are quite a photogenic person. Your director really did a number on you in this movie.
She's beautiful in it.
She looks like a sack of spuds in the film. Can you just explain briefly what was done to you, or what you did to your actress, and what the intent was with that incredibly haggard, worn look? Did you actually have makeup, or...?
No, I mean, look, Essie is clearly a beautiful woman, inside and out.
But I am sleep deprived.
But the thing that is extraordinary about her, I mean, we've known each other for nearly 20 years, since NIDA days together. And the first time, oh my God, don't mention it. But ever since I've known her, I've been struck by what a genius actor she was, and what a chameleon she is. So every performance I've seen her in, she transforms into someone else. And that's actually rare for actress, because actresses often won't let go of their vanity. I think it's rare for an actress to let go of this idea of being beautiful on camera, and you often see with a lot of Hollywood actresses, they start to place their faces in certain ways, and there was none of that with S. This character is a real person, and I wanted people in the audience to say, there's elements of me in that. And you can't do that when you don't let go of your beauty in this role. And Essie went in, no holes barred, and was so courageous and brave. And we used a few wide lenses, which helped to strangify her look.
I mean, I recognise myself incredibly in Amelia. And I would have to say that Phryne is someone who I get so many people trying to make me look good. There's a lot of ironing, and a lot of hair ironing, and micro lipstick placing, and absolute precision jewellery, and motorsports costume, and we've filmed very quickly, but my DOP is like, bloody my leading lady, give me 5 more minutes, but genuinely, when I arrive at work most days, I look like Amelia. That's really much closer to who I am, in a way. I mean, I am a redhead, and Jen asked me to go back to my natural strawberry blonde colour, and that took 17 hours of bleaching and slowly and attaching little other bits of hair to try and, you know, one of the things that I do pride myself on is that if I can see my character in the mirror, if I can see someone else looking back at me, then I can play it. And you know, we did spend a lot of time. I mean, I was sleep deprived, and I worked really hard, and every day took its toll, and we just let it show. And it is confronting. It is confronting looking at yourself in a massive screen, going, "Wow, I look like shit."
I think you look beautiful.
Thank you.
I do. I think it's luminous.
The film is very scary, but I don't think there's anything in the film as scary as the prospect of a first-time director releasing her film in Australia.
Yes.
Can you please, hands on the table, tell me about your sense of the Australian market as it is at the moment in terms of audience reaction to Australian films?
Look, you know, we had such an extraordinary reaction in the US, and I did in particular as well after, you know, visiting LA and meeting people in the industry there. I met some amazing people. They're very enthusiastic, the Americans. Australians are so not like that. And so it's a gear shift, isn't it? I mean, in terms of even of our audiences, they're a lot quieter and a lot less emotive. I would like to think there's not. Yeah, I would like to think there's not a cultural cringe, but I believe we still do suffer from that. But one thing I can say about this film is, I don't know why, but there is a lot of local love for it, it would appear. And I hope, it's my sincere hope, that we, you know, that translates into bums on seats.
On the 22nd of May.
Yeah, on the 22nd of May and beyond. And
Do you recognise that there is a shift in mindset from Australian filmmakers towards films that are more audience oriented?
I don't know about that. I think that what filmmakers are doing is getting braver. I think we're getting stronger self-esteem. The most important thing I think a filmmaker can do is be true to their own voice. And if that means making supernatural thrillers or romantic comedies or dumb comedies that are brilliant, then go ahead and make them, and then the audience will respond. We can't go the other way around. I never thought through the development of this film or the making of it, what would an audience think? I never once thought that. I just thought, what is my vision? Because if I really believe in it, then someone out there is going to warm to it. That was my feeling.
And you know what? The more single-minded and uncompromising the director can be, as Jen was with her vision, the more that people don't worry about whether someone else is going to like this or not, but they actually make it because they think it is an excellent piece of work, the more people,
the more audience will
honestly,
rock up.
The reaction has been, we have not had a bad review. I mean, touch wood.
Is it a happy balancing act for you, or is it a source of constant tension?
Of working in all of those. Look, I love being an actor, and it is a great pleasure to go to work with delightful people, which there are a lot of in this industry.
Yeah.
But it is one of the hardest industries to continue to get work in, and every time you're in a job, unless you are internationally millionaire famous, every time you get a job, you're looking immediately, people are showing you what you have to audition for next, or read this, and you're going, I've just got this one, let me concentrate, let me do this one well. But you really don't know what the next job is. You don't know. And I've had a pretty fortunate career, and I have to say that I have loved working in every medium. There have been great moments of each of those mediums.
And she's brilliant in every medium.